Welcome everybody. So today, if you have a chair or a coffee table nearby, we might use that during the class. So we're going to start on our tails. I call this the Accelerator Break. So knees are bent, your toes are pointing to the ceiling, and you're reaching your hands for the feet, for the toes. They go across and over the top of them. Depending on your flexibility, maybe those heels can slide out further. And we're just gently, like an accelerator and a brake, or more like a clutch and accelerator, pushing one foot away from you at a time. It's going to be pulling through the shoulders, and also across through the mid-back, maybe the lower back as well. So a bit of movement here. Again, as time progresses, maybe the heels can slide out more. It'll be more intense on the hamstrings, but gently pushing. If it becomes too much, shorten the hamstrings, bend the knees. And then if it feels right, maybe the knees can start to straighten and you fold forward. Take some breath here. So again, my knees are quite deeply bent. Still getting a great hamstring stretch here. Slowly come up. Then with the legs out in front, I want you to bend one knee. So I'll work the left knee. And bending that leg beside you. Be mindful here if you're on a hard surface, people's feet and sometimes the bones push into the floor. Always be mindful, always be cautious of knee joints. Lean back onto your right hand, starting to feel a stretch through the front of that thigh. Maybe both hands can go back. Maybe that hip, the left hip of that left leg, can come closer to the floor. We're just gently stretching through thigh muscle here. If it's too intense, lean away from it. And even if it feels appropriate, maybe you can just gently wriggle slightly. And another little resistance stretch is to squeeze your glutes and try to tuck the tail slightly under. You'll feel that intensify. Roll away from the bent knee, gently straighten that leg, and we'll do the other side. So bend the other knee under, the foot comes under rather, places it on the floor. Again, maybe that right hip is off the floor, maybe it can come down a bit more. Be mindful of the knee. You only want to feel a stretch and pressure through the thigh. Maybe you're wriggling a little bit, only if that feels comfortable and correct for you. Maybe you can squeeze the glutes and gently tuck the tail under. And slowly lean away from there. Release the leg. And then again, forward fold, or knees are bent, arms come under the knees, and just release forward here. Maybe the heels can slide away if there's a slippery surface under the heels. Take some breath. Even if you're just in that same shape as we were before, take some breath. Awesome. So if you've got that chair or coffee table nearby, approach it. I'll grab a chair here. And then bring it onto the mat. So what we're going to do is a lunge. So you've got your chair now, and we're going to gently step forward. So I'll work the left leg, stepping it forward on the outside of that chair. So the chair is quite close to my hips when I sink in. You may need padding under that right knee. Some of you may be able to tuck the toe. Be mindful of the knee joint itself. And I'm here just slowly sliding that knee back a little more. Getting a deep stretch into that back thigh, across the hip flexor, across the front of the hip. This front leg, if there's compression around the thigh into the hip, sometimes if you walk that foot out a little, it creates a bit more space. And so from here, just take some breath. Allow gravity to push down through this joint. The leg that's back, that right leg, you should be feeling that through the hip, through the thigh. I'm also feeling it, experiencing in this left leg. My pants are feeling a bit tight at the moment, so that's also adding to that resistance, constriction. Left arm, maybe that's on the thigh. If you can, lift the chest up and forward. If your balance feels fine and you don't need the chair or the coffee table, lift the right arm up, stretch it to the ceiling, breathing here. Breathe into the belly. Try to soften the face, teeth and jaw. That's it. Bring that hand back down. Just a few more seconds here. And then just slowly push back. Leave the front foot where it is. You can still use the chair or the coffee table. Lift up the left toes. So hips are going back. This left leg is trying to straighten. The knee can be bent. Just a bit more of a hamstring stretch here. Again, breathing. The breath will help soften the tissues. It tells your brain you feel safe. The moment our breath becomes a bit more shallower, we usually create tension in belly, teeth, jaw, shoulders. Everything starts to tension. And that means, or that tells the brain, that we feel like we're in fight and flight, survival mode. The breath helps us out of that survival mode. So just gently bend back into that left knee, leaning forward. Take the weight on your hands on that chair or coffee table. Slide the leg back, and then we'll come to the other side. So you can move the chair. I'll bring the right leg forward for me now. And I'll do it from this side so you can see what's happening on this side of the chair. So my elbows are resting here. I'm tucking the back toe. Again, if you can't reach down with the elbows, if the coffee table is lower, I'm trying to slide my back knee back and my front foot just gently working out to the side. My right elbow is on the right leg. Left arm can even rest there. And just experiencing this side. It feels totally different to the other side, and that's normal. We always have a dominant leg, and that dominant leg is the one that we favor usually. It's when we might walk up steps first, that leg. And as we did before, lift the chest up and forward. Maybe that right arm's resting on the thigh, and you can lift that left arm up. So the leg that is back, that's the same side you're lifting. That will lengthen the tissue all the way from the hip up through the side of the body. Take some breath into the belly, breath into the body. Even squeeze that back glute. See how that feels. And then when you're ready, just lower that arm, releasing there. And then we're going to push back with your hands. The hips go back, but the front toes stay where they are. The front heel is down, the toes are lifting. I'm trying to straighten this front leg. Again, my hands can be here on the chair. Maybe you feel more comfortable bringing them down to the floor if that's possible. Work it out. One arm up, one arm down. Take some breath here into that hamstring. That's it. And slowly lean forward, stepping back. And we're going to just bring the chair out of the road. Just slide it out of the road if you can, or just move to the side, whatever works for you. And just lower down just for a moment onto elbows. It's a nice position to be in after stretching through the hips. Breathing here. Push the elbows down, shoulders away from the ears. Maybe you can explore a little bit of head movement side to side. Breathing. And then just release down and roll over onto your back. So we're finishing just with those few moments of stillness to allow all the tissues to settle and soften. Arms can be beside the body, wriggle the hips, lengthen the head, feet can flop to the side. Even if you want to bend the elbows and rest the hands on the body. Allow yourself to give in and let go. Allow the breath to flow as it needs. Just a minute's silence, a minute of stillness. And just gently wriggle fingers and toes. Awareness back into your body. You can even lift the arms and stretch along the floor, fingertip to toe. Roll onto one side, onto the hip. You can push yourself up from the side, or knees into the chest, chin into the chest as well. Just rocking up. And that final, just bow, that respect for self and each other. See you tomorrow.